Worldwide parent coach and conscious educator Sue DeCaro is on a mission to revitalize the joy in parenting. Welcome to Conscious Parents, Thriving Kids, a podcast designed to help parents all over the world create deeper connections with themselves and their children while overcoming life's daily parenting challenges. Listen in if you want to bring more laughter, love, and enjoyment to your home life.
Welcome to Conscious Parents, Thriving Kids, a place for all things parenting. I am your host, Sue DeCaro. When we look at our children, we do so through a colored lens. A colored lens is a distortion of reality. But then where does this artificial lens originate? As a parent coach and a parent who's been through a transformational journey, I have learned that the lenses come from a host of different places. Today's episode is about the lens effect. First, these lenses, they come from our society and the labels that are placed on our children. For example, children may be labeled as disruptive, bad, oppositional, inept, non-compliant, unable to listen, etc. We as parents may buy into this label and treat our children as if the label is who they are. In these cases, we expect that our children are going to be disruptive every day. Or we prepare for their lack of listening by becoming defensive before we have even given our children a chance. This kind of view does not allow the child to grow and learn in a way that suits them. If we parent in this manner, with our glasses on, our preconceived negative labels are tainting the growth and development of our child and our relationship with that child. Also, these glasses that we wear as parents come from our own childhood, perhaps the way our parents saw us as children, raising us accordingly. Past experiences can create these artificial lenses in us and can cloud our vision, allowing us to see only what we want to see, not what is really there, the true spirit of our child. As we enter this parenting journey with preconceived ideas about who our children should be or will be, we become fixated on how to make this our reality. We may think our children are just like us, a mini-me. Perhaps you've heard people say that or you've said that yourself. However, from a healthy parenting standpoint, I now know, and help my coaching clients see this as well, that these glasses should have different lenses or be taken off altogether. It is about the clarity and presence in which we have as parents in our own life, which helps us to be able to see our children clearly for who they are, what their spirit is about, and how they contribute to the family, to the school, the community, and the world at large. As a parent of two girls, I myself had to remove the lenses that I wore for quite some time. My two girls could not have been more different, as most of our children are, or all of our children are, each one unique in their own beautiful way. One of my girls was very strong-willed, and I called her challenging back then, while the other was more complacent and easygoing. However, as a younger parent, I did not see this at all. I was looking through my narrow lens, looking for what I expected, what should be, and how I could mold my children into this false sense of reality, coming from my own colored lens. So raising my oldest daughter was a tough journey. My expectations of her were so different and often unobtainable. When I look back, had I really seen the challenge in a different way, I may have been able to address the situation with my own lens. Nothing to do with her, just with me. What I mean by this is instead of looking at the child as different, challenging, stubborn, oppositional, or any other label. I could have looked at her as strong, directed, curious, and driven by her own thoughts, behaviors, and interests. Every day was a battleground that I began to look for because I came to expect it. Daily struggles involve simple things like trying to tell her what to do or when to do it. Did I offer any autonomy? Probably not. Did I empower her? Probably not. Knowing that this child did not like to be told what to do and was a bit oppositional, wouldn't it have been better to build a choice into the situation? Would you like to do your homework now or after you play? When would you like to take your bath, before or after dinner? This is, of course, good for any child, but for this particular child, it was imperative. But because my lens was so fogged up with a preconceived image, thoughts, expectations, I became focused on the negative, perhaps even looking for it. It was as if I had expected this child not to conform to the mold that I created for her, both in my mind, from past experience, and from my own upbringing. So I began to expect the negative, the power struggle, and the backlash, and looked at everything with the negative language, which has an influence on our mood and our tone and our overall feeling. So when a parent has the lenses on, the child may never measure up or be enough. They will not be what we expect them to be. We want our children to feel like they are enough, right? Or they're just right, as they are. Having their own spirit is what makes them their unique, thriving selves. So let's not crush that spirit by leaving our glasses on. Let's take them off and live in the reality of life. Children who grow up in this environment feel a lack of so many things: worthiness, competition, competency, autonomy, self-esteem. Having been that child and now that adult, it is a painful process to overcome as both the victim and the lensed parent. Had I known what I know now, the glasses would have been removed and thrown out years ago, for good. I would have looked at my children closely to understand their nature, their needs, their personality, and what works best for them. A child who is strong-willed may need way more choices and autonomy than an easygoing child. This does not make one better or easier than the other, just different. When we take our glasses off, the miracle of what we see is endless. We can see the uniqueness in our children, honor who they are, appreciate the moment and what they bring to it and to the family. We can truly love who they are and parent in a way that acknowledges and appreciates their spirit. With our glasses off, full vision, loving and accepting each moment as it arises. It's not an easy process, but it is one that will enable us all to grow in a beautiful way. Thank you for joining me. And remember, every moment is a new moment for conscious connections.
Thanks for listening to Conscious Parents, Thriving Kids. If you like what you heard, the best compliment you can give us is to share this podcast with a friend. And be sure to give us some stars and a favorable review at Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen in.